Hello, great people. Nigerians are expressing surprise as Kano State Government in northern Nigeria distributes goat to women as a form of empowerment. The government of Kano State, according to report, distributes 7,158 goat to empower 2,386 women. What does this mean? What is the implication of this? What are the associated issues? What are the lessons? What are the facts that we can bring out from this in this modern age and time, especially if we place Nigeria with other parts of the world? Now, looking at this, the governor wants to do an empowerment program. It means that you want to empower your people. People that don't have job, you want to give them job. People that are poor, you want to bring them out of poverty. You want to empower them. And what you decide to do is to share goat. Look at this. In this age and time, where other nations are into skin aging research, whereby they are researching how you will be growing old, but your skin will not wrinkle. So where other nations are investing in skin aging research, where other nations are investing in technological innovations, where other states are investing in cancer research, that how to stop cancer, how to eradicate cancer, the government of Kano State decide to be sharing goat. Now, I'm not saying that sharing of goat is wrong, but in this modern age and time, I will be interested in the amount that the Kano State government has spent on education. How Kano State government has empowered people through education. How much has Kano State government spent on technological research? How much has Kano State government spent on medical research? How about infrastructure provision? What are the policies of Kano State government in making sure that people thrive according to their skill, their education, and their intellectualism? When I see that, if the Kano State government have invested so much in that, well, there's no big deal in sharing goat, because those people that you share goat to, they can be empowered in another dimension. And we will look at this in the next minute. You can empower them in such a way that they will truly be empowered. Because let us look at this. What will the goat eat? You give people goat, goat will consume something. If you don't feed the goat will die. So if you are giving the people the goat, the question is, what will the goat eat? What will you feed them? Will you give them what the goat will eat? Let's imagine that you are a Kano State indigene, you are a private citizen, and you are enlisted for the empowerment program. You are given the goat, maybe 2 or 3 goats. That goat that you are giving, you must feed that goat. So you that you are not empowered before, maybe you can barely feed. How will you feed that goat? And that's why the Kano State government was reportedly begging the people that don't eat the goat, oh, make sure you keep them, make sure that you let the goat live and multiply. But the truth is that if you don't have what to feed the goat, and the goat falls sick, and you see that the goat is dying, rather than for the goat to die, won't you eat the goat? So those goats will eventually end up, majority of them will end up in the pot of soup of some of these people. And that is the truth. Because let us look at another dimension of it. How long will you take you to prosper from rearing goats? Like I said, if you want to empower people, that means that they are unemployed, you want to give them job. And if you are doing a job, right, if you have an occupation, that occupation should be able to feed you, right? If the government now want to use goat to empower you, and you are given 2 or 3 goats, the question is, how long will it take you to prosper from the rearing of those goats? Definitely it will take years before you can prosper from the rearing of goats. It will take so many years, because for those goats, for you to make like maybe hundreds of thousands from rearing of goat, that means you will have like multiple goats, and the goats will not impregnate themselves in one day. They are the children of those goats will not grow mature in one day, so you won't start making money in one day. So you can see that this thing, as much as it is the means of empowerment, that money that was spent on buying those goats could have been used for something perhaps more productive in this modern age and time. Now let us look at something. The governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, is of the NNPP. The political leader of that NNPP is Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Now, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was a presidential candidate of the NNPP in the 2023 presidential election. Let us look at it that if the governor of Kano State can be sharing goat, does it mean that if Rabiu Kwakwanso had been elected president of Nigeria, is this the policy of the party? Is it that we now have a situation whereby the NNPP as a political party will be championing a policy that goats should be shared in the north, chicken should be shared in the south, maybe dogs should be shared in the Niger Delta? Even the president that promised, what will they eat? Agbado, gari, cassava, have not even shared the agbado. The person that promised agbado have not shared agbado, but it is the people that didn't even mention it that are now sharing goat. So imagine that if this is the mindset of the leadership of NNPP that controls only one state in Nigeria, which is Kano State, let us now imagine that they are now controlling the federal government. They are in control of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What will now happen? Is it that this is how they will be sharing goat all over the place, sharing goat and chicken? How much has Kano State spent on research innovation? These are some of the things. So you can see that when you look at it, that is why, sincerely, I support Bola Ahmed Tinubu's tax reform policy, and I support that local government autonomy, because these are some of the things that we are talking about. If you know that there is free money, you won't be able to think, out of the box, because you know that whether you earn or you don't earn, there's one federal government in Abuja that you don't need to do anything just because you are part of Nigeria and you are a state governor in charge of a state. The allocation will come to you. That has made us to kind of like produce leaders that cannot think out of the box. Leaders that cannot think how to run their state effectively in this modern age and time. But if you know that no free money is coming, you know that you will sit tight. So if local government allocation is not coming to you, there's no way you can cut out of that money and reshare it in your own way. Definitely you will sit tight. If you know that the tax reform, it is what is being earned in your state, it is a percentage of it that you will earn, definitely you will also sit tight, because you know that the more federal government earn tax in your state, the more the amount of money that will come to you at the end of the day. So we need to begin to look at this, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu need to go further. It is not about just tax reform. It is not about this local government autonomy. It is also about devolution of powers, that these states should be in control of their resources. Then we should practice true federalism, that they will be remitting money to the federal government. They will be remitting a percentage to the federal government. So each state survive on your own. Kano State, you love goat. You know how to share goat. You think goat is the best way to empower your people. You think you can earn from goat sharing. Okay, keep sharing goat. Just remit a so percentage of that profit that you made from the goat sharing to the federal government. So at the end of the day, when all these policies are put in place, these state governors will sit tight. That is, but so long as we keep giving them free money, they won't think out of the box. And that's why we have been able to produce some leaders that are quite lazy in terms of thinking of the way forward. And another thing we need to look at in this goat sharing, controversy issue is that local markets will be unprofitable. This sharing of goat will make local market unprofitable because goats will become cheap. You know that. Let us look at the force of demand and supply. You have shared goats, over 7,000 goats to the people. It means that there is now high population of goats in the state. And if people decide to be rearing goat, and let's say in the next 6 months, 1 year, all the people that were given the goat, they obey the state government, which is not possible. But let us just assume, if they obey the state government and the goats that they were given, they decide to be rearing those goats. Well, when they rear those goats, you will see that there will be goats all over the place in Kano State. So it will make the local market for goat unprofitable because there is too much goat in the state. That means that the price of goat will come down. So you can see that at the end of the day, it will make local market unprofitable. And that's why I stated earlier that how long will it take you to prosper from rearing goat in the two sense of it being an empowerment program? How long will it take you to prosper from rearing the goat? You have to feed them. You have to provide shelter for them. Some of those goats will fall sick. And at the end of the day, when you want to sell some of those goats, the local market has become unprofitable based on the large population of goats in the state. Now that the government is sharing goat, is the government thinking ahead in terms of the modalities for sending those goats to other states? For instance, as the government research the state that likes is it Nkwobi or Isiewu, as the government research the state, is Kano State government collaborating with those states of the people that like Nkwobi and Isiewu in such a way that in the next 2-3 years, Kano State will be the one supplying the people that are cooking in Nkwobi and Isiewu, will be the one that is supplying them goods. Has Kano State government been liaising with other states of the federation so that the more Kano State is producing the goat, there is already a consumption market for it in other states? That is how some of these people can prosper from rearing the goat. And is the Kano State government looking at the international dimension to it, to this? Is there countries that like goats? Is there countries that that can do some things with goats? Does the bone of goat contains one nutrient or something that can act as a raw material for some countries? Does the skin of goat, can it be used as leather or something? I leave this to the scientists in the house. But as Kano State government conduct research in that regard, so in such a way that Kano State will not only profit from the rearing of goat, the large population of goat in the coming years, is Kano State government arranging itself in such a way that it will profit from it within Nigeria and also beyond Nigeria? These are some of the things, because now the deed has been done. The government have shared goat. There's goat all over the place. Since the deed has been done and the taxpayers' money has been spent on distributing goat, well, we now need to be thinking, how can this goat sharing be profitable to the state on the long run? And I hope that the relevant commissioners and special advisors will not go and sleep, and they will be thinking of how this can profit the people of the state and also Kano State government. But I will advise Nigerian politicians to be thinking out of the box. In this modern age and time, I don't believe in sharing of goods. That is the colonial way of empowerment. That is the 1830 ways of empowerment. This is 2025, and I think that the government can do better than sharing goods. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science, and this is where we relax to dissect politics and happenings in the polity. Do want to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course, I have great, interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.